This is Gary Atencio with CNTV, and today we're in Canyon City, Colorado. We are here at Whitewater Adventure Outfitters. Since 1996, they have been the elite quality company here to go down the White Colorado Rapids. I am here with Tony, who is the founder and owner. Let me ask you, first of all, Tony, what is it that got you involved in this line of work?
Well, I was a guide for several years in Salida, about an hour upriver from here, for a really large rafting company. And when I met my wife Kathy in 1991, her dream was to open a rafting company. So we pursued that. We operated an office for another company down here in the Royal Gorge area for a couple years when we decided to buy out a company in Salida and start our own business.
Really, there's no trip to Colorado is complete without going down the Whitewater Rapids. Is that what folks are basically coming through you for?
That's pretty much what we do here is rafting trips. We package with some other companies that do zip line and train rides and things like that, but primarily what we do here is rafting on the Arkansas River in Browns Canyon, Bighorn Canyon, and the Royal Gorge. We open around mid-April each year and we close sometime in September depending on water level. We've been open as late as early October. Typically after Labor Day things wind down.
Is the Arkansas really that popular?
The Arkansas River is the most popular river in the western United States. The Royal Gorge is one of the most popular trips in Colorado, and it is one of the best whitewater trips you can take in Colorado.
So not only do we have a great river, but you also have to have a great staff. You've got some experienced people you work with. What precautions do you take to make sure that these guys are knowing how to take care of the folks that come in?
Gosh, we operate in a Colorado State Park, and the rules are voluminous of how we have to operate our business and how we have to train guides and maintain records on guides and the things we have to do as far as not only initial guide training, but also advanced guide training to become certified on trips, more advanced trips such as the Royal Gorge. Like I tell guides all the time, training never stops. Every trip is different, even though a lot of times it's the same section. Water levels change constantly. People are always different. I tell them you got to be a good coach. If you're not a good coach, you're not a good guide. I have a saying that I tell guides all the time, that all good boatmen are good guides, but not all good guides are good boatmen.
Jack, you just spent a weekend here with the Whitewater Outfitters. What kind of experience you have there?
We had a great time. We had a family moment, be able to spend the night together out on the river just a few minutes from home. It was great. It was a good escape. The guides had this ability to identify us very quickly, and so we were able to laugh and joke, and they're able to train you. They're able to take that feeling, that apprehension away. And then when you get on the river, you figure out real quick, when you're starting to go in between rocks and up and down, you figure out real quick that they know exactly what they're doing.
Obviously, folks that are dealing with different personalities every day. Not only that, they're dealing with a living entity called water, which basically can change at a moment's notice. What are some of these trips that you're able to take out here? Are we talking about for children all the way up to advanced?
We take kids as young as 6, and on our more beginner trips, on our beginner half-day trip in Bighorn Canyon, our minimum age in the Royal Gorge ranges from 13 to 16, 18 at higher flows. We don't take really very small children. They need to be old enough to comprehend the things we explain in the safety speech and understand simple instructions.
Someone out there who's never experienced the family trip, would a half day be a good place to start with?
Half-day trip is a good place to start. A lot of first-timers do our trips in the Royal Gorge at more moderate flows. The full-day trip is a great experience for a first-time person because you're in our beginner section in the morning, then we have lunch, and then you're in the more advanced section in the afternoon, so it kind of builds up to itself a bit.
Somebody who's only gone out for maybe a quarter day, half day, even like myself, and now you put on a couple days out there, what was one of the advantages of that to you?
We built up this experience. We learned a little bit more, and you wanted more. I mean, I think if I were only here for a quarter of a day, I would feel like I missed out. By the end of 2 days, I feel like I had a really full and rich experience.
I've experienced a half-day trip before, but nothing really touched the experience of spending the night. I mean, we're talking about a 2-day out there on the water as well as overnight. That's got to be one of your bigger packages. Do you think this is the ultimate way to experience Colorado?
Our Browns Canyon Royal Gorge 2 days, very popular trip. It's for sure our most popular overnight trip. We run several different overnighters. I think that one gives you the best experience of the whole river because you do Browns Canyon the first day, Bighorn Canyon, and the Royal Gorge the second day, and it's complete with guides to do your bidding for you at camp.
I mean, after doing research with your company, I knew I was going to be surprised with the experience of your staff and the people, but quite honestly, I was a little shocked and amazed that it was more than just whitewater rafting. We're talking about these guys know how to put out a meal, and they know how to treat folks great.
Yeah, some of our guides are very good cooks. Sean is actually a chef, and he's worked in a lot of really nice restaurants, and he does a great job on the overnighters. Even more experienced guides that's worked for me for 20 years, Dave, does a lot of overnight trips down in Big Bend National Park. That's pretty much all he does down there in the fall and in the early spring, and he does a lot of our overnighters as well. They're excellent at it.
As I got to speak with a lot of the guys out there, they feel pretty fortunate to be out on the water, and quite honestly, they love what they do. That really comes through, I think, when it comes to dealing with the people out there. Is that what you experienced back when you were doing guiding yourself?
Yeah, certainly nobody gets into this for the money, so it all becomes a love of the river and a love of rafting and just being able to be a little freer with your lifestyle. A lot of our guides work at the ski areas in the winter, and their raft guides in the summer. It kind of rounds out the whole year for them.
Speaking of the whole year out there, you've got different combination packages as well. Share with me what you're able to combo up with. We're talking about a train ride on some. You can do a zip line. What are some of those features?
We partner with a zip line company in Salida called Captain Zip Line, and we do rafting, zip line, which you can do both in the same day, or you can do those in separate days. We also partner with the Royal Gorge Route Train, which is one of the most phenomenal train rides in the country. It goes all the way through the Royal Gorge, as obviously do our rafting trips. And that's probably our most popular package, is the rafting with the train ride. We do some other stuff with horseback riding, and we do some rock climbing combination packages as well.
Excellent. So you name it, if basically you want to come down and enjoy the white water, this is a great place to start out doing it. You guys have been doing it for many years now, and you're very good at it. You've got it down to a science. I mean, I look at what the guys do out there as kind of an art. I mean, they're able to speak with people, keep it friendly, but yet at the same time, I see behind the scenes a lot of professionalism going on, and I think folks out there are to benefit from that.
Most of our guides have been around here long enough to where they know the process and they know the drill without a whole lot of input from us, although it's very difficult for us to not be micromanagers due to the fact that there's so much the safety aspect involved in people. We catch a lot of things that the guides don't catch in the office, and checking people in, non-swimmers, for instance, language barriers, things that we deal with every day that they need to know about before they get on the river with certain people.
Absolutely. Well, I can tell you from basically going out there and experiencing this that the guides took care of us very well. Everything was explained to us. Even with a disability myself, they were able to slow it down for me, break it down for me, which was wonderful. But I think, like you said, it takes the entire management team here to make sure that you guys are putting a package together that people can be safe with and at the same time have a great time.
Safety is obviously paramount, but it's all about fun. What we really sell here is great memories.
And that's exactly what we received. Folks, if you take a look at the bottom of the screen right there, you're going to see that's Whitewater Adventure Outfitters. Basically, from the minute you get on the bus there, you're going to be in for a treat because of the fact that you've got some guides that love doing what they're doing, and they're out on the water, and they're there to show you a great time. But keep in mind, behind the scenes, safety is always number one. You've got a staff that's been doing it for many years here. You can go right on the website and click and book right there with them.
I've been rafting once before, but just for a half-day trip. This was totally different because it was 2 days, so you had time to get used to it for the first hours, and then more time to just enjoy it. And
what about the scenery?
oh, amazing!
So one of the things I was surprised at was the fact that there's a lot of different experiences that you go through while you're out there. I mean, one thing, there's moments where you're just peaceful, it's relaxing, you're enjoying the scenery from a vantage point that really you can't get from a car or from anything else. On the other hand, around that bend is you've got some exhilaration coming, anticipation, and is that what you think makes rafting so much fun for folks?
I think one of the things that makes rafting so much fun for people is it's an experience that they've never undertaken before, and even for people that are very nervous and not very certain that they want to go in the first place, those are the people that usually come back wanting more and a more advanced trip and to go again very soon. So I think one of the things that makes rafting so much fun is it teaches you that you can accomplish things that you didn't think you could.
And I found out the fact that if so needed, you guys can accommodate with wetsuits all the way from the head to toe. I mean, quite honestly, they don't need to bring much but a good positive attitude.
Spirit of adventure is good to have. We can accommodate people as far as I always tell people, we can make you impervious to the conditions.
Impervious to the conditions. I am a living proof of that. Folks, basically I showed up here with nothing more than a towel and a swimsuit, and they had me set up in a tent on the side. They had a sleeping bag. They've got complete wetsuits all the way from head to toe. This is the Whitewater Adventure Outfitters, located here in Canyon City, Colorado. Come out and check them out. This is Gary Atencio with CNTV. And if you don't know, now you know.